AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I got to turn on my ring light over here so I'm not as dark. It's the sun going down. But you have to check out our YouTube channel, which is on Hit. You have to check out the chat. There are all sorts of conversations going on in there. It is high comedy. As a matter of fact, connected to the YouTube channel, we're giving away 2 pairs of tickets to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair in Irwindale tonight. Since its inception, more than 5 million people from around the world have visited Southern California's Renaissance Pleasure Fair, averaging approximately 20,000 people each weekend. And the tickets we're going to be giving out tonight are good through May 11th. So keep on listening and watching as we'll have 2 sets of winners tonight. But here is where I wanted to start the show this evening. Damn it, don't go too far, Tuala, because I have a bone to pick with you.
Mr. Mo Kelly, he warns us all. Says autonomous vehicles might be our downfall. But then Tuala comes on and claims it's all under control. He says Mo Kelly is wrong, but Mo thinks he's on the payroll of Waymo. Cause Waymo be bad, run you over. Waymo be bad, run over ground. Waymo be bad, run you over. Waymo be bad. The end of a song.
Tuala Shark, what do you have to say for yourself? What do you have to say for yourself? We got to go to Santa Monica.
What's happening in Santa Monica?
Maybe you've seen a Waymo driverless taxi on the road. Maybe
Yes, I
you've
have.
even ridden in one.
No,
But
I
some
haven't.
neighbors that live next to this charging station say that a noise they make is a nuisance. Waymo driverless taxis are now a part of life in SoCal.
Well, honestly, it's pretty cool. I think the Waymos are awesome. Like, it's a driverless car. That's pretty cool.
But
Very.
some neighbors next to the Waymo charging station at Euclid and Broadway in Santa Monica say there is a downside they can't escape.
Outside.
It's the backup noise, the beeping, every time a Waymo
Every
reverses.
time.
Well, yeah, it's one of the most annoying noises I can think of.
Annoying.
Dozens of people have signed a Change.org petition that reads in part, the new Waymo station has turned our once peaceful
Dozens.
neighborhood into a hub for noise pollution, an incessant disturbance that hinders both our tranquility during the day and peace during the night.
It's irritating.
It's irritating.
She's irritating. How about that?
Irritating.
Hear that voice? It's irritating.
It's
That frog out your throat.
irritating. You know, this neighborhood has a lot of noise, and to add one more level to it is not fair.
Whoa. The neighborhood is already noisy. So she's like, just one more noise?
Wait.
That's not
That's
fair.
like saying the neighborhood is full of crime, so we can excuse
I don't want to
adding
hear
to
about it. I don't want to hear about it because she's literally just like singling Waymo out when the
You're
neighbor's
being
already
irritating,
noisy.
Tuala.
It's already
irritating.
Noisy. Wow. You know what's interesting is right now, Waymo is literally significantly outperforming all forms of transportation.
Don't try to change the subject.
Be it taxi or
They're
ride
noise
share.
polluters.
They are performing 85% higher than the low 57% for Uber, Lyft, or even taxis if you can find one. It's interesting.
Irritating.
There are so many people taking Waymo right now. I don't even know what this lady's complaining about. There's a little noise in our backyard. Okay.
Irritating.
Okay. You know what?
This neighborhood has a
near
lot
an
of
airport.
noise, and to add one more level to it is not fair,
No one
I
asked
think,
her.
to this neighborhood. And so I know some people have been kept up at night and then woken up in the
unacceptable.
middle of the night.
A
Oh,
lawyer for one
unacceptable.
neighbor says her
Whatever.
client is kept up at night, and after he protested, Waymo took legal action.
So my client engaged in justifiable protest, and Waymo attempted to obtain.
Whoa. What's the justifiable protest?
It's First Amendment.
How are we to know? How are we to know that this individual wasn't
doesn't
doing
have to be
something
justified.
that was literally just shy of legal? You know, just because they want to call it
He wasn't charged with a crime.
So my client engaged in justifiable protest, and Waymo attempted to obtain a restraining order against him.
Unacceptable.
No. Obviously, because this nutbag was out there probably trying to jump on Waymo's naked. We have no idea what this individual was doing.
You really want to play that card? You want to blame the victim.
What was the individual doing?
You want to blame the victim.
No. This isn't a victim. This is someone who went out and lawlessly went after Waymo, and that's why this individual now has charges. I hope they enjoy those charges.
Not charges. It was a restraining order, which they were denied.
Which was denied outright.
Some are fans of the cars, but not of living near the station.
Love it. I think it's cool, but it is annoying that it's right there.
Annoying.
For these roommates,
But we live like right there.
the Waymo backup noise is a consistent part of working from home.
I have to deal with this noise every time I'm like on a call with someone.
Go
In a
back to
statement,
work,
Waymo
you
says we
lazy
strive to be
bums.
good neighbors in the cities that we
Unacceptable.
operate and are committed to being a positive
They're
presence
a
in Santa
scourge
Monica.
on our
We are in
ears.
ongoing conversation with the city's Department of Transportation and actively working to explore and implement mitigations that address neighbors' concerns.
They're a menace and they
You know
must
what's
be stopped.
interesting is I was driving through, I went to go pick my son up who was out visiting a friend doing this band thing out near LAX. And I took the streets on the way back for the most part. And from LAX all the way back through, I'd say maybe Jefferson and
they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Yeah. And you know what? It's amazing how well they drive, how seamlessly they switch lanes, being kind and courteous for there was literally someone who was going through a crosswalk. The Waymo stopped. You know who didn't stop? The car that went around the Waymo to go on through the crosswalk, as if the Waymo was in the wrong for stopping someone crossing the street. This is what I witnessed.
You know what?
I witnessed lawlessness.
Waymos
from you
are
drivers.
worse than homeless people.
And I don't.
What I want to do is
And
give
I
them
don't
free
think-
fentanyl. I mean, that's what I want to do.
Do I?
I want to give them free fentanyl. You know?
Do I?
Do you, let me just add one thing here. Do you remember the old Saturday Night Live routine where Dan Aykroyd played the guy from the Dangerous Toy Company? Erwin Mainway? This is Tawala right here.
Hold on a minute, sister. I mean, we'll make a teddy bear. I got one right here. This right here, it's got a nice little feature here. You can see and take a shot of it. And hold it up here. We call it Teddy Chainsaw Bear.
Teddy Chainsaw.
There it is, Teddy Chainsaw Bear. See?
Tawala Chainsaw.
He'll defend anything.
I'm not defending teddy bears with chainsaws.
You are.
I am literally defending an innocent company that is trying to expand and make California better.
And I don't think.
Free fentanyl. I mean, that's what I want to do.
Do I?
I want to give them free fentanyl.
You defend everything.
I do not defend everything. I'm not defending the use of fentanyl for the homeless.
You might as well.
Do I?
You are the Erwin Mainway of KFI.
Do I?
You people are on the wrong side.
You people?
You people?
Do I?
You're on the wrong side of progress.
It's later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. Live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. Don't forget, we will be giving away 2 pairs of Renaissance Pleasure Fair tickets tonight. So you better watch our YouTube stream at Mr. Mo Kelly.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640 is later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. No, I'm serious.
Do I?
Yeah, we're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. Still want to let you know we're going to be giving away tickets to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair. I think we'll do it at the end of this hour and maybe later in the show. But we're going to be giving away tickets to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair, and the tickets will be good all the way through May 11th. Now, let's talk about these thousands of union workers, which actually have gone on strike starting today. It's a limited strike. You may wonder, is it going to impact me? Is it going to impact my family? Is it going to impact my kids? Well, maybe if you're like me, when I was out of work, this was many, many years ago before I came to KFI, I spent most of my days in libraries, LA County Public Libraries. Why? Because they had free Wi-Fi, internet access. There are a lot of things that you can do at a library that people don't really know about. Let's say you need to get your resume printed out. Let's say you needed a workspace. Libraries are perfect for that, but they will be impacted by this strike, this limited union workers strike, which is going on now through Wednesday.
We're live out here outside of the Carson Library. This is one of literally hundreds of places run by LA County that could be impacted by this. So the strike starts at 7 o'clock tonight, goes all the
In other words, it's already started. It's just now underway.
So the strike starts at 7 o'clock tonight, goes all the way until 6:59 on Wednesday night. LA County says it does anticipate its libraries to operate with reduced resources. And at some locations, it's possible the library will be closed altogether. That means many families and community members who use them for Wi-Fi and to get essential social services may not get that help until after the strike ends.
I wonder how effective any limited strike could be, especially when it's close-ended. It starts Monday night, maybe ends Wednesday night. I don't know how much leverage you can exert. I know you don't want to disrupt too many things, and I get that. You don't want the public libraries closed indefinitely. But I do wonder whether you're making your strike more ineffective by saying in advance. We had talked about this with the school strikes, whether your strike would be more ineffective by saying, hey, we're only striking until 2 days from now.
Beach and harbors in LA County will be impacted too, and that does include Malibu, where wildfire debris cleanup on beaches may be paused during the strike. LA County says beach restrooms may be closed, and maintenance on county beaches and in Marina del Rey may be stopped too. Now on your screen are more county services that could be shut down Tuesday and Wednesday altogether.
Now, this is the real important part, and this probably impacts more Angelenos than any other location or service.
Or run on a reduced schedule with less staff. That includes a lot of different things, from non-urgent health clinics to school-based wellness centers at 47 middle and high schools, substance use help centers, and the auditor controller's office. And public works, things like issues with trash or encampments, will be delayed as well. Of course, this isn't the first time the SEIU union members have walked off the job in what they call an unfair labor practice strike in LA County. The county does say it's going to try its best to maintain essential services, but so many who live and work here will feel the ripple effects of this strike over the next few days. And looking ahead to tomorrow morning, we're told that thousands of those workers will march through downtown LA to make their voices heard.
Okay, make your voices heard. What is it I'm going to say about that? Make your voices heard. Did you notice through that whole news piece there was not any information on what SEIU specifically was asking for? Did you notice that? The reason I played the whole clip was to highlight that we'll find out some of the things which are going to be closed, which are going to be reduced staff, how it may be impacting you, but there was nothing in it specifically about SEIU. They said unfair labor practices. What does that mean? I always highlight this because I try to show you the wrong way and the really wrong way to go about protesting. They're protesting tomorrow, and I'm not sure you or me, neither of us knows exactly what SEIU is asking for, demanding what's needed to be improved, anything. That already tells you that the strike is not off to a good start. You should have someone out front who was saying or sending out some sort of boilerplate message to all media. We're going out on strike. This is what you need to highlight in your news reports. We want this. We want that. We want the other. And if you don't do that, which goes back to the idea of a whole limited strike, you are wasting valuable time saying that you're going to strike on Monday and Tuesday or Tuesday and Wednesday and not hammer everybody with what you want. I'm sitting here on KFI, the number one news talk station in America, the most streamed station on iHeartRadio, and I have no freaking idea in any specificity what SEIU is asking for. And that's not my fault. That's the fault of the protest planners, because you have to get the easy ones right. If you want your protest to actually make a difference, then you have to actually make sure the news media, the general public knows what you're asking for and why. Why is it that this is so actually unfair? Why is it that you want the greater Los Angeles area to listen to you, to hear your grievances? Oh, I forgot, Twala. I can't hear their grievances because no one's talking about their grievances. They should have made that Okay, for those who don't know, and Mark, you know about this, the Associated Press, you'll see the same story in about 7 or 8 different outlets because they're taking the story from a wire service. So it'll look almost exactly the same. We even say, probably have like the Associated Press contributed to this article. As you send out your information about the protests to the Associated Press or local media, you make sure it's included in there. So every single story, be it in print, on radio, because we're getting a lot of our information from print news media sources, be it City News Service or Associated Press, whatever. All that information is there. So when we talk about the story, wait for it, it's included in everything we do. But I just gave you a 2-minute news story, and there was not a damn thing about what SEIU is waiting for. What are they asking for? What is it they need to change? What needs to be improved? I couldn't tell you. I desperately want to tell you, but I can't because it's not there. I know when they're striking. I know it's going to begin and when it's going to end, but I can't tell you in between. Oh, they said they're actually going to be out there on the picket lines tomorrow morning. Asking for what? I don't know. I would really like to know. But why is it incumbent upon me to go research all this information and dig when you want me to talk about what's wrong in all of these jobs? Oh, yeah, I can assume it has to do with pay. Yeah, I know that, but maybe it has to do with vacation. Maybe it has to do with some sort of benefits. Maybe it has to do with, I don't know, number of hours that you can work in a given week. I have no idea because no one has done just the basic stuff to help a limited protest be successful. These are the simple things. Because what happens is tomorrow rolls around and still nobody knows. Nobody knows. I follow this every single day. In fact, I was watching this story the whole day. I was wondering, are they going to put in here the specifics? Are they going to put in here the ask? It's I always call it. What is it you're asking for? It's unfair labor practices. Well, tell me something specifically. Because if you want the general society to be supportive, and also emotionally on your side, you have to tell us exactly what it is. You can't show us just walking in circles holding up a picket sign. You got to tell us exactly what it is. That's the whole point of public protesting. So the general public sees what you're fighting for, what you're asking for. Mark, do you know what the protest is about?
They are protesting the county failing to fairly negotiate a new labor contract. And we've got the union accuses and this is from the wire service that you just mentioned. The union accuses Los Angeles County management of refusing to bargain with union members in good faith, and they allege retaliation and surveillance of union members. That's a start.
Okay. I'm sorry, Mark. I just got to jump in real quick.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
I still don't know what they want.
Right.
like I hear that, and if that's the reason that they're going out, are you missing the ... And we are going to protest and go on strike to get this, that, or the other corrected? Do we have anything like that yet?
Here's a little more. The union claims the county's proposal was a 0% increase for cost of living and alleges the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors was able to spend $205 million on a downtown skyscraper for new office space.
We talked about that.
While maintaining there's no money for frontline staff.
Okay, we're getting a little more information.
So it's money. We're getting that. So it's money? Or do they?
It's always money. It's
always follow the money.
Yeah,
but do they want space in the new office tower? I'm trying to figure out, what do they want? Are they like, you guys got this new office tower and we have no office space? What do they want? Because if they want money, they should put an ask out there so we as the public can say, hey, that's not that much.
In other words, we want $45 an hour for this, that, and the other positions. But we're being told by the unions there's no money because of that downtown skyscraper. I know that they're against the downtown skyscraper. I remember we covered that story. But I don't know exactly what they're asking for. And if we have to, between the three of us, dig through all this media and hopefully to get some semblance of what they're asking for, then they're not protesting correctly.
It really should be something that could fit on a protest sign. Make it simple.
Yes.
I mean, I hate to agree with you, but it should be something that you can make into a slogan that's easily repeatable, preferably that rhymes.
Right.
Yeah.
$25 an hour now.
That doesn't rhyme.
It doesn't rhyme, but it fits on a sign.
Yeah.
Stop the tower, $25
an hour. There it is.
There you go.
But bust the deal and face the wheel. I'm sorry, that's Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Well, limericks are good too. If you could get a limerick on a sign, I'd like that.
Then once was a man from Nantucket.
Not that one.
It's later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. When we come back, we have a Metro update, and KFI's own Michael Monks will join us.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Later with Mo Kelly on KFI AM 640.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We have some Metro updates. One very concerning, one possibly promising. And joining us to help sort it out is KFI's own Michael Monks. Michael, it's good to talk to you. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well, Mo. Always a pleasure to join you.
I have to wonder, let's start with the somewhat good news. LA Metro is going to roll out concealed weapons screening in Norwalk. What do you know from your conversations with the people at Metro? Because they won't talk to me, and I'll give you my thoughts about it.
Well, here's what we know. They started this weapons detection pilot program last year in the wake of all of that violence, including a murder that took place on the system. They started it at Union Station and also at the APU Citrus Station in Azusa on the A line. They say it's been very successful, that it has detected just about every single weapon that it could possibly try to make its way through any of those screening devices that they've put up there. So the idea now is that they will expand the program. It is now gotten to Norwalk on the C line. And that's where Metro officials were today to celebrate the expansion of this program. Now, it is a slow rollout. They are going to add this at other key targeted strategic high traffic stations, but we don't know when or where yet. Right now, we basically have tried it at Union Station, in Azusa, and now in Norwalk.
Why is it that it needs to be rolled out? I think of this as like a metal detector of sorts. You can find out if someone's carrying a weapon. Let's kind of run with this. You know, rolling it out one station at a time seems counterintuitive when we're talking about safety. It doesn't seem like it's overly high tech. It seems like just a metal detector. Why the slow rollout?
It is an expensive endeavor, and it's one that they wanted to test to make sure that it works before they put it across the system. But I know from covering local government in Los Angeles, whether it be the city council, the board of supervisors, or Metro or others, things move really slowly here. I talk about this a lot when I'm on shows like yours, is that there just seems to be a lack of urgency with all of the problems. And goodness knows we face a lot of problems here. The fiscal crises at the city building or the county building and the safety concerns on Metro. It just takes too long to do anything around here. The irony, and I think you were hinting at some bad news, is they were celebrating the expansion of this program a day after a woman was sexually assaulted at knife point on a Metro bus. And that is, that's irony, tragic, but also irony.
There's something and I was hoping you could explain it for me, because this alleged sexual assault in some published reports I'm reading happened April 12th, but we're only hearing about it near the end of the month. Number one, that says to me that there's a lot probably happening at Metro on buses, on platforms, on subway cars that is not being immediately reported, which that concerns me. And also that this investigation wasn't disclosed to the public in a timely fashion.
That's right. And you're right. I misspoke. This act took place on April 12th, the alleged act. The LAPD put out the news release about it today with images of the suspect. This is a guy who apparently got on a bus and sat down next to a woman and started to talk her up, apparently, according to the police, and then pulled a knife and sexually assaulted her. No details on what exactly went down. And I only reference that because we don't know how many people were on the bus. What was going on? Was there like some behind the chair groping, which is of course a crime, or was the bus empty and the bus driver didn't stop or do anything, and something more elaborate was taking place? It was a pretty shocking release from the LAPD, especially the fact that it came out hours after the news conference announcing this expanded weapons detection program in Norwalk, because that weapons detection program is not available on the buses at all.
And that's basically leading me to my next question. The weapons detection is fine, but it seems to be rather limited because you and I, since we've ridden Metro, we know that the weapons detection system, I saw a picture of it on KTLA, doesn't seem feasible for buses the way it's presently constructed, doesn't seem feasible for many of the open air platforms which are common with Metro. What say you?
I say that you're correct. It's the weapons detection sensors that they've placed at Norwalk are like pillars that maybe go up to your elbow or your shoulders, depending on your height. And you walk through those and they'll beep and there's, security there. Really what you have to have at all of the stations, on all of the trains and on all of the buses, unfortunately, is some security figure.
Thank you.
And that's the only thing that's going to work right now. What we can't solve in Los Angeles today is just the vibes. And they're bad. You've got to have somebody on there whose presence will discourage the antisocial behavior or the criminality that takes place on the system. And what irritates me so much about this, Mo, not just as a news guy, but as a resident of this city and this county, is sitting in traffic and knowing that we've got a pretty good alternative. I mean, Metro is a pretty good, I say this to you a lot, it's good on paper, isn't it?
Yeah, at its
best.
best.
On paper, it's a good thing. I can get up to that station where you are right now when I'm coming into work in about 40 minutes and not have to worry about the traffic while I'm doing it. If only you could guarantee that it was going to be a relatively pleasant experience. I wouldn't mind standing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a stranger even talking to me a little bit, but to have somebody doing drugs or smoking cigarettes or playing loud music, those are the best of the worst things that happen on the bus or the train. The worst things are really terrifying, and they're the types of things that will keep people away from the system permanently.
Michael Monks, thank you as always. Please give my regards to Metro. They seem like they don't want to talk to me. I've asked for them to come on the show, but for whatever reasons, they're not accepting the invitation. So please reach out to them.
Maybe you could wrap one of the buses. We could do the Mo line. We could get some Mo Kelly promotion on the side of one of these buses, and once you're a paying customer, they might like you a lot.
Hells no. Hells no. Talk to you soon, Michael.
You got it.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. If I remember correctly, Beyonce was not here, as in Inglewood, LA, not too long ago. I thought that was like the Renaissance tour, where tickets were like $2,000 or something ridiculous. And now she's back. She's performing, presumably right now. I don't know if there's anyone open for her, but the concert was supposed to start at SoFi.
No, we got the concert up and running right now on the YouTube stream.
Oh, wow.
That's a live feed from the concert.
Oh, wow. What are those, empty seats?
Hey.
Oh, no, because I heard as of 5 o'clock. No, that wasn't a joke. I'm being serious. I'm looking at what I'm looking at. And I was under the impression that there were still seats available, which was going to my original point that maybe Beyonce has had a bit of overexposure in LA because she's been doing so much here in the city. Like, put it this way, if you spent thousands of dollars like you and your family did, Tuala, for your daughter to see the Renaissance tour, and she's back in a year, are you going to spend the same amount of money?
Well,
Well,
okay, look. What? Okay, look. My daughter is going. Okay, but Thursday is her birthday, and she really wants to see, the Cowboy Carter tour.
Is there anything you tell her no?
Look, man, she's only gonna be, our daughter and our baby for
the rest of your life.
Look, man. She deserves it. She is a very, 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 very good child.
No judgment. No judgment.
Look, I'm just saying.
She's an expensive child.
Yeah, she is, but she doesn't ask for like anything else in between.
Oh, you're one of those parents like, all right, if I get you this, don't ask me for anything else. That's the way my
mom did. Now, look, Beyonce just happened to come at a time, it was like right on her, the show was right on top of her birthday. Now, that does not count her going to go and see Billie Eilish this summer. That's
where is she going to see Billie Eilish?
That's in London. That's in London. Okay, so she's going She's going to London
Y'all hear
to
this?
see Billie Eilish.
Y'all watching this on YouTube,
Okay.
right?
No,
Mr. Mo Kelly.
No.
His daughter is going to see, went to see Beyonce Renaissance.
Yes.
Saw Taylor Swift.
Yes, saw Taylor
More
Swift.
than once, right?
No, just saw Taylor Swift. Just that one time, because those tickets were way, way too expensive.
Okay, so where that
one
Waymo
time.
money's going?
Clearly.
Okay.
Because he can't afford this on a radio salary and a teaching salary.
Okay, look. There are sacrifices that are made
by you, not her.
Look, well, okay, look, man, she loves these people.
Okay, well, okay, I missed my point. She went to see Renaissance Tour.
Yes, she did.
saw Taylor Swift Eras.
Yep.
Okay, she went to both of their movies, right?
She did, yes, of course.
Okay, she's going to see Billie Eilish in London.
In London.
And I've been to London, I don't know when. Okay, and now she's going to see Beyonce Thursday at SoFi.
At SoFi, yes.
When was the last time you told her no to something like this?
Oh, to something like this? Yeah. I don't know, but just the other day she asked if she could do something, and I said no. Do something. Oh, no, because last night she wanted to go and see Sinners again, and I was like, nope, it's not gonna be able to happen because I had been driving all around.
You said no to a movie for the third time.
No, because I had been driving around too much. I was too much driving.
That's the line, y'all. That's the bridge too far.
No,
a movie. Can I go to London to watch Billie Eilish? Okay. Can I see Beyonce Cowboy Carter? Okay. What about Sinners for the third time? Hell no. Hell no.
Daddy, can I have a Fabergé egg? Yeah, but I'm not driving you to the movies.
Okay, look.
Gas doesn't grow on trees.
It doesn't. It was a long drive. I couldn't do it. Okay, I couldn't do it. But I'm very happy that she is able to see Beyonce, and that tickets are for this show reasonably priced. I mean, we're seeing the arena right now, and it's not as crowded. And I think this is something that anyone touring right now, especially if you're coming to Southern California, you got to be aware of a couple of things. We just had Coachella
and Stagecoach.
Wango Tango's about to happen in a couple of weeks. That's it. That's about all people got money for in LA. Coachella, Stagecoach, Wango Tango. There's no other summer concerts happening.
And I get it. You're dipping into the same pockets of the same people, presumably.
Anyone who is a fan of Beyonce is a fan of the multitude of artists that are at all these other concerts.
And look, this is going to be hell on my drive home, I tell you, because they have a concert going on at the Intuit Dome, which is 200 feet away from SoFi on the other side of the street. Inglewood is going to be difficult to get to, so I don't know. I might as well just stay here overnight.
I'm going to say you're lucky there isn't a Laker and a Dodger game tonight.
No, there's a Dodger game right now. See,
wait,
see? Right there? Yeah, it's
I thought that was pre-taped.
That's going on right now.
I didn't know that was live.
Yeah.
You should get the blow-up bed and just camp out.
Just sleep in the office.
It's a busy night in LA.
Oh, it is. It is. Stefan, I don't know when we're getting home.
Well, see, Foosh can leave here and go and catch some Uber money on his way home. Just get a little extra.
You could. Would you though? Would you after a long day working?
I've noticed I can't handle that. That's my limit. I can't go after a shift here. I have to save for the weekends.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Well, how about this? Let's add to everyone else this weekend. We said that we're going to give away 2 pairs of tickets to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair in Irwindale. Why don't we give away 1 pair of tickets right now? If you don't know about the Renaissance Pleasure Fair, since its inception, more than 5 million people from around the world have visited Southern California's Renaissance Pleasure Fair, averaging approximately 20,000 visitors each weekend. And the tickets we're giving out tonight are good through May 11th. So don't feel you got to go like right now or anything. But let's give away tickets to caller number 6. Caller number 6. You and a guest will be going to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair in Irwindale.
Indifference Therapy. KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeart.